The garden blueprint, designing your ideal mental landscape. Option 3 feels most aligned with what we need here. With this inspiration, let's begin our section. Now that you can see what's actually growing in your mental garden, it's time to create the blueprint for what you want instead. Have you ever noticed how pulling weeds creates the perfect environment for those same weeds to return if nothing new is planted? This principle applies fundamentally to mental transformation. Without a deliberate design for what you want to cultivate, your mind naturally defaults to familiar patterns, even when those patterns no longer serve you. Imagine if you could completely redesign your mind from scratch. What would you choose to grow there? This question forms the essence of the design phase in our ADI framework. This stage creates a clear blueprint for your ideal mental garden, setting specific intentions for what you want to cultivate. Think of it as drawing out the perfect garden layout before breaking any ground. You wouldn't randomly scatter seeds in a physical garden, yet surprisingly, many people approach their thought patterns exactly this way. One of the most common mistakes in personal development is focusing exclusively on eliminating negative thoughts without having a clear vision of what positive thoughts should replace them. Nature abhors a vacuum, and this principle applies equally to your mind. When you remove negative thoughts without intentionally planting positive alternatives, that mental space quickly refills with the same toxic patterns you were trying to eliminate. The design phase prevents this cycle by ensuring you have a comprehensive plan for what goes in place of the weeds. The garden metaphor reveals fascinating truths about our thought patterns. Just as some plants naturally crowd out others through their root systems or canopy coverage, certain thought patterns can overwhelm and displace others. Thoughts of gratitude naturally push out thoughts of lack when consistently cultivated. Some thought patterns, like perfectionism, require constant maintenance and pruning to keep them from overtaking your mental landscape. Others, like self-compassion, provide nourishment that strengthens your entire mental ecosystem, making it more resilient against invasive negative thoughts. Research in visualization techniques offers compelling evidence for the power of mental design. A 2019 study published in the Journal of Cognitive Enhancement demonstrated that participants who regularly visualized their desired mental state showed measurable changes in neural activity patterns. The researchers found that mentally rehearsing specific thought patterns for just 10 minutes daily created stronger neural templates that gradually became default pathways in the brain. Visualizing your ideal mental garden actually helps your brain begin building it. Think of your core values as the foundation plants in your mental garden. These are the stabilizing elements that everything else grows around. The oak trees and cornerstone shrubs that define the character of your landscape. If compassion is one of your core values, it becomes a central feature in your garden design, with related thoughts and beliefs arranged around it. If growth is a core value, it might manifest as an area dedicated to learning and expansion. By identifying these foundation elements first, you create a mental landscape with structural integrity that can withstand life's inevitable storms. What are the 3 to 5 core values you want as the foundation of your mental garden? Perhaps it's authenticity, courage, connection, curiosity, or contribution. These values should occupy the prime real estate in your mental blueprint, acting as anchors when invasive thoughts attempt to take root and providing reference points for decisions about what else to cultivate. Envision your mental garden blueprint like this. At the center are your core values, perhaps represented by sturdy trees. Branching outward are pathways leading to different garden sections, each dedicated to specific thought patterns and emotional states you want to nurture. For example, creating your mental garden schematic involves mapping desired thought patterns, emotional states, and beliefs as different sections of your garden. Ask yourself, what emotional states do you want to experience regularly? What thought patterns would support your goals and well-being? What beliefs about yourself and the world would serve you better than your current ones? You might designate a section for self-belief thoughts, another for relationship-nurturing perspectives, and another for growth mindset reflections. Perhaps include a meditation pond where thoughts can settle and become clear, or a wild meadow where creative ideas can flourish without constraint. This approach transforms abstract concepts like positive thinking into a tangible, visual structure that your mind can work with effectively. This blueprint becomes more powerful when you consider the natural relationships between different mental elements. Just as companion planting in physical gardens creates beneficial relationships between plants, certain thoughts naturally support and enhance others. Thoughts of self-worth make vulnerability less threatening. Perspectives of abundance make generosity more natural. Understanding these relationships allows you to design clusters of complementary thoughts that reinforce each other. The detail in your blueprint matters significantly. Vague intentions like, "I want to be more positive," provide insufficient guidance for your mind. Instead, specify exactly what positive means to you. Is it optimism about the future? Appreciation for the present? Compassion toward yourself and others? The more specific your design, the more effective your mental gardening efforts will be. Your brain responds to precision, not generalities. This blueprint becomes the reference point for all your future mental gardening work. When uncertain about whether to nurture a particular thought or remove it, consult your design. Does this thought align with your blueprint? Does it contribute to or detract from the garden you're trying to create? Without this reference point, mental cultivation becomes arbitrary and inconsistent, subject to moods and circumstances rather than guided by intentional design.